Heavy, San Francisco Tower.
Okay, here we are.
Altimeter 29.902, wind calm, cleared ILS runway 28, left approach.
We're taking a bunch of gamblers up to South Lake Tahoe. And we'll see if we're lucky enough to make it up there. Oh, just kidding. And we're climbing to 13,000. And we're ready to go. Take the brakes off. We've been cleared to take off. Full power. The old Citation Longitude. And we get up to about 100 and it starts rotating. Actually, it rotates on its own. Get the wheels up, get the flaps up. And then we go inside and we turn on the autopilot and we turn on the auto throttle.
Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie, contact Oakland Center on 119.475.
It's on automatic. And
going to 119.475 Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie.
American 2860 Heavy.
Oakland Center Cessna 527 Bravo Charlie is at 1,600 feet, climbing 13,000 feet.
Cessna 527 Bravo Charlie, Oakland Center, altimeter 29.902, radar contact, continue.
We're looking up towards San Francisco, right up there. And we don't have to answer that. And it'll just take us up to 13,000. They'll give us a higher altitude before that. You can actually see the Oakland Bay Bridge and Treasure Island. Actually, you can see the Golden Gate Bridge. You got to squint though, but it goes right across there, going over to Marin. Angel Island, and we'll look out to the east. And we see Mount Diablo. We see the Oakland International Airport right there. And let's see, I think we're going to go ahead and get this out of the way so we have a beautiful picture to look at. Thank you for riding along today. We'll see how we do. I think the age is getting to me. It's getting to my computer, my controls. And there's a lot of good stuff out.
Cessna 912, climb and maintain 12,000 feet.
Yeah, we're going to 13, so we're okay with that. We'll just continue. Oh, we don't have a
climb and maintain 12,000 feet, Cessna 912.
Oh, that's Cessna 912. That's not for us. Otherwise, we would have had a little confirmation right there. Luckily, they don't have the confirmation sitting up there, or I would have clicked it. So we're looking down at Oakland and Berkeley. Here's downtown Oakland, and then Berkeley is right over in there. And then where they built the Liberty ships is Richmond. That's Richmond, right up in there. They got it to where they could build I think they said one a day or one an hour. I mean, they were really knocking them out. Of course, they had everything lined up to put it together. They did get
800 feet, climbing 12,000 feet.
Ford at
Skywest 7 Heavy, Oakland Center, altimeter 29.902, radar contact, continue.
At possibly the River Rouge plant, I forget what it was, where they were building the B-24, a 4-engine bomber, and they got to where they knocked one out in an hour. And again, they had it lined up, but they were knocking out 22, 23,
climb and maintain flight level 230.
220. Anyway.
Climb and maintain flight level 230 Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie.
And then we go inside and put this up in the upper left-hand corner if they call us. And we go over a couple of clicks.
Oakland Center Skywest 5625 Heavy is at 8,700 feet, descending 4,000 feet. Qatari 738 Heavy, climb and maintain flight level 190.
Oops.
Skywest 5625 5 Heavy Oakland Center altimeter 29.902 radar contact. Continue to sit by. SkyWest 5625 Heavy, you are 16 miles southeast of San Francisco.
23, there we go.
Contact
Still
San
nav.
Francisco Tower on
Vertical speed, we're still
120.5 when
climbing.
inbound.
No, we'll stay. Let's go with 2600. We want to keep our speed up, and we got our speed at. It just popped up to probably. Let's see what it says here. 270. So and we're at 270. So that's good. As you get higher, your speed limit goes up too. And we'll look outside to the Delta area. This is the Sacramento River coming in here. Cartagena Straits right there, and Vallejo. And then you come along. There's Buchanan Field, and Concord is right under us. Mount Diablo is off to our right here. We get it right under us here. There it is. That's Mount Diablo right there. Extinct volcano maybe. And we come up on the Delta. Used to have a boat up in here. Yeah, right along in there. Antioch is where we had it. So here's the Sacramento River swinging up to the left, going up toward Sacramento. Up there, you can see the deep water channel for the steamship. But the old paddle wheelers, the
Horizon
river.
Air 2458 heavy traffic is 10 o'clock 4 miles at 16,900 feet Airbus A20N. Report them in sight.
The river went off to the right here. They didn't have a deep water channel back when they were running the paddle wheelers. So this was the Sacramento River here, and then this one right here. I should wait. We'll see it closer. You can see Frank's Track here. This is where they had land that put levees up and had the land and the weather and winds and tide blew down the levee on this end, and it filled in back around when I was born, I think in the late 30s. And they fixed it, pumped it out, and it blew down again, and then they just left it. So it's a big lake. Big lake there. So we're looking down here at right along here. Oh, yeah, there it is. I love it. There's a Port Chicago is along here. And that's back a little bit where they handle ammunition.
Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie climb and maintain flight level tree 10.
All right. And then this is Pittsburgh, and that right under us is, they call that New York Slough is right there. So they got Pittsburgh and Chicago, and anyway, across the way, right along in here is where they. Oh, wait a minute.
Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie, please acknowledge.
I have to acknowledge. Somewhere along in here, they used to park the river boats. Yeah, not the river boats. The old World War II boats was right in this area. It was the mothball fleet is what they called it. What happens is they'd start leaking and then leak oil in the water. And they'll actually, what happens if you don't acknowledge, they'll cancel your
Climb and maintain flight level 310 Cessna 7 Bravo
instrument
Charlie.
flight plan. So we have to start climbing now. 310. And we'll just go even faster when we get up there.
Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie, contact Oakland Center on 126.85. Good day.
So we'll put it up at 2,200 feet a minute. And then we have to do another little trick here.
126.85 Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie. Goodbye. Oakland Center Cessna 527 Bravo Charlie is passing flight level 235, climbing flight level 310.
There, now you can see the deep water channel. You can see Steamboat Slough going right under the left wing. Going under the right wing is the original Sacramento River, or we call it the Sacramento River. But Steamboat Slough made a shortcut out of that. How much time they made, I don't know. I had a little accident in a home-built airplane here at Franklin Field. I'm not real proud of that. Crosswind. I had a real crosswind for taking off. And it was pushing me into it looked like a 10-foot high chain link fence. And I said, that's not going to be very good. So I cut the power, and it ground looped and ended up on its nose. It's lucky it didn't catch fire. It was an open cockpit, little.
Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie descend and maintain flight level 210.
All right, we'll do that. Acknowledge that.
Descend and maintain flight level 210 Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie.
That sounds decent. 210. There we go. And we then go down. We might be close to that anyway. No, we're at 27. We don't want that. There we go. Get rid of those. See if we're working it out right. We're at 26.9. We're descending to 210. That's a decent altitude to be at. So we'll stick with that. We're doing 300 knots and 0.73 Mach 0.73. Let's go outside. I like to take this reading. We're doing 439 knots. True, we call that a true airspeed. We're indicating 300 knots. And you can see the barber pole coming down. We don't want to exceed that. We're probably over Lodi. Let's see what this one is down here. Mustang. I don't know about Mustang. What is this here, right here? Well, this Sacramento Executive. I operated out of there for a while. There's Hamilton. Mather, I mean. I forget where Hamilton is. That's over in the valley. So we're not quite to Stockton yet, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So we look at. We have to kind of look back, and I have to see where Frank's track is before I can see where I'm looking, and that's way far away. Wow, we're a long distance away from. There's Frank's track way back there. So when you look across, Stockton is adjacent. So Stockton and Lodi, that might be Lodi right there. Manchester, let's see what that one is. Eagle's Nest. We're getting into the foothills. So Lodi is going to be back along in there. And that's probably the San Joaquin River. We should be seeing the American River, but I'm not quite familiar here. If we looked into Sacramento, this is, I guess, all Sacramento. So the American River comes in. It's probably right under us, right there. Goes through Sacramento. Hooks up with the Sacramento River. Oh, here's the American River.
Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie descend and maintain 15,000 feet.
Yeah, the American River comes out of Folsom Lake. Now I know where I am. I'm sorry. Yeah. Sacramento Mather. That used to be an Air Force base right there. But this is the American River going down this. Hook up with the Sacramento River from Folsom Lake. Cameron Park, that's where you have a house, and your house, instead of garage, you have a hangar. You might have a garage too. I have to acknowledge. He wants me
Descend
down
and
to
maintain
13,
15,000 feet.
15.
Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie.
15,000. Okay. Then we'll go there.
Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie, contact Oakland Center on 119er decimal 75. Good day.
Okay. Then we'll go down at about, we'll go down 1,600 feet a minute. Acknowledge that.
119er decimal 75 Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie. Goodbye. Oakland Center Cessna 527 Bravo Charlie is at flight level 205, descending 15,000 feet.
Cessna 527 Bravo Charlie, Oakland Center.
So this is Highway 80 under us right there. No, that's 50. 80's on the other side of Folsom Lake. Let's face it, I'm not sure. Not quite sure. Anyway, it's one of the two. If it
Cessna
leads...
7 Bravo Charlie, you are 47 miles west. Descend and maintain 11,000 feet. Keep speed not above 220 knots. Expect RNAV runway 18 approach via Hetry transition. Cleared to Hetry.
Okay.
Descend and maintain 11,000 feet. Keep speed not above 220 knots.
That's gonna
Expect
get us
RNAV runway
right
18
down on the
approach via
hills.
Hetry transition. Cleared to Hetry
If I was
Cessna
on
7 Bravo
instruments,
Charlie.
I wouldn't be real happy about 11,000 feet. But this is going to be fun to get that close. And is it still going down? Yeah, we can increase this to 1900. How's that? And we'll see if we answered it. No, we answered them, so we don't have anything on there. We'll go outside and enjoy the scenery. So 50 comes up through Placerville, I believe. I don't remember Placerville being over on 80. Let's see what we have there. Georgetown, Betchy Valley. Can't quite see. That might be. Could be Grass Valley over there. I think 80 is over more that way. I'm going to go with 50. So let's see how fast we're going. Doing 384. Truing out. We're indicating 300. So we'll stay with that. And we'll see the lake here. Of course, they dropped us down, so we've got hills in the way. And of course, they call them mountains out here. They call them mountains back east. they called 1,500 foot hills, 2,000 foot hills. They call those mountains back east. Nice cruising. I think everybody's happy. We're probably wanting a couple more, at least one more drink before we land. That could be right there. That could be Truckee right there. I know the approach goes to the north end of the lake and then heads south down the lake. It's kind of a fun approach. I hope it does okay on the approach. Let's look at our chart here and see how we're doing. We'll go out a little bit. Yeah, it goes to Hetry and then comes around and zeroes in, and this is where we're going to land right down here, South Lake Tahoe. And yeah, Lake Tahoe is mostly in California, but the line is goes through South Shore, so there's part of the town is in Nevada and part is in California. So in order to gamble, go to the casino, you have to be in Nevada for that, or Nevada, however you like to pronounce it. You can see where some here they've probably done some forestry work, logging. The patches like that is probably what that is. Probably Red Emerson. He was one of the biggest landholders in California, Sierra Pacific Industries, and they were lumber company up in Eureka, and my next door neighbor, Sam Witzel, was their mill sales manager. Nice guy. Sam's gone. I don't know whether Red's gone or not. So you can just see over the ridge here, and that's the bowl. So in the distance there, that might be Mount Rose, which is just over that hill, is where Reno is. And over this little saddle is where, that's probably Highway 50 goes through that saddle over to Carson City out that way. So we're getting there. We are now, our speed was just dropped down to 220. So we can see the auto throttle has dropped down to 24%, which is pretty much flight idle right now. So we're indicating 250, and they want us to get down to 220. And you can start seeing the lake now, Tahoe. We're going down here to the south end of the
Cessna 7
lake.
Bravo Charlie contact center on 127.905. Good day.
127.905 Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie. Goodbye. Center Cessna 527 Bravo Charlie 11,000 feet.
Cessna 527 Bravo Charlie Center altimeter 29.9er 2 radar contact. Continue to Hetry.
So that's the next intersection. You'll have to answer them. So I'll just show you Hetry. That's probably over Tahoe City. Yeah, it's right where, could be Dollar Point. My sister married Stan Dollar. So that was another lumber guy. And so the Dollar Point, I can see Dollar Point here in the distance. And they turned that into a subdivision, so they have houses out there. They still have some trees out there, but the idea was to get the trees. And so there's Truckee Tahoe that I mentioned, the airport. And in this valley here is where they made Island in the Sky with John Wayne. That was written by, I have to think of his name, Ernie Gann. Ernie Gann was a pilot. He flew a DC-2 and then DC-3. He was a writer, he was an artist, did a lot of flying during the Second World War, not in the service. Anyway, as we come up here, we're going to look over towards Squaw Valley. This is Tahoe City right here on the right shoreline, Tahoe City, and the lake, Truckee River runs out of the lake right there along this valley and goes right by Squaw Valley, and Squaw Valley is going to be right in there where Squaw Valley is. Very, very beautiful area. Okay, we don't need this right now. But next click, we're going to be able to switch over to the approach mode. But again, this is, you can see the lake now. This is Truckee. Truckee is, I think, the only river that runs out of Lake Tahoe. And the Truckee River ends up running all the way down into Reno. And this is Dollar Point, right there. Then we have Incline Village is over this way. Incline Village, I believe, is in Nevada, a subdivision. And over the hill, my son worked at. I have to sneak up on the name of the resort that's right here. North Star. North Star would be just right over the hill, right there. A nice ski resort. Facing north, you want it facing north so the snow doesn't melt. So now we're going to slip on here and see if we can turn on the approach here. See if approach turns on. There it goes. And let's turn off the auto throttle. And see where the auto throttle is. Right there.
Auto throttle. Auto throttle.
Bring it right back to about there. Put in a notch of flap, and they may give us a lower altitude. Let's see where our so we have it set up here where we'll see the
Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie
glide
descend
slope.
and maintain 9,300 feet.
Glide slope will come down. So 9,000. Let them know we'll do that so they don't cancel our IFR.
Descend and maintain 9,300 feet. Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie.
See the lake right on here. Here we're coming around right on the north end of the lake, right up there. And so we have to tip this here, and we'll probably go down to about 2,500 feet. 2,000 ought to do it. 2,000 feet a minute. And let's see if we see. I don't quite see the diamond coming down yet, indicating our glide slope. We're on approach. We've got control of the, what's our speed? We can take the speed down to about, start getting it down to 180. So we'll pull the power back. Pull the power back. We're heading for 9. We're coming up on 9,000. And we should straighten up here to head down the lake. You can look around at the lake. And I think I got a notch of flap. No, I don't see it there. We'll put a notch of flap in. And let's see how we're doing on our approach. We haven't locked on to the, but we're not quite to our final here. They're going to give us a lower altitude here. And let's see, we get it down. And we're slowing down.
Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie, you are 12 miles north of Tahoe.
Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie.
So we'll be contacting. He may have given us a lower altitude, but we should see the, here, I just see the diamond starting down. That's our glide slope. And when it hits right there, it'll lock on. And then we just hit an intersection. So we're going to run right into it, and then it will automatically take us down to the altitude we want to land. I see the airport out there in the distance. And we'll keep it like this. And look at South Shore is right over this way. And we should start seeing our, I see our altitude is going down from 9,000. So we've locked onto the glide slope. I'm going to put the gear down. Our speed is getting down to where we want it. We'll put in another notch of flap. Not too much snow. This is called Heavenly Valley up here. My son likes to ski at Kirkwood. He skied at North Star during his time at Chico while he was studying his engineering. And we're going to come up on the power a little bit so we don't get too slow. And we'll look at the South Shore a little bit here. So this is under the tail. By the tail, that's all Nevada. And we're going to come in with another flap. That's full flap, so we have to come in with power, otherwise we get too slow. That's a lot of drag. So now we're going to get back on the tail, and there's one last little jog right at the end before we land.
354 heavy traffic is 12 o'clock, 4 miles at 7,700 feet, Cessna C700.
I see an aircraft right there in front of us. And let's see, we're a little bit slow. A little bit slow. Not too bad. I found out that this can fly at a little slower speed than I thought when I first started flying it. I think I'm flying an airliner, but I'm not. And it's supposed to do this little jog right here. Seems like it's a little extreme. Possibly it's so we don't get close to the mountain there. And then the last thing to do is to go inside and just turn off as it'll straighten out here. Go in here and turn off the autopilot. And get it back on track. Then we'll go outside. There we go. And we're still just a little slow. I think we're a little high too. So we can get the power back.
Sync rate.
Yeah, it doesn't like coming down that fast. There we go. There we go.
40, 30, 20, 10.
A little skip. Flaps up. And we just missed the turn off. Then we can cut back right here. And they used to have a tower here, but it's possibly the program, or Microsoft, or they just no longer have a tower. And let's see here. I think I have a guy that's right up in here that's waiting for us. Yeah, there he is. I think I've done this before. And he was hidden by the truck. There we go. And anyway, we're looking over where Heavenly Valley is, that hill, and of course the town of South Shore is right over that way. Fallen Leaf Lake is over the ridge, going that direction. And we got stories to tell about that. Yeah, there's the old tower, but they didn't tell us to contact the tower. And we go inside if we can. There we go. And we can turn it off here. There we go. So that was a pretty good run. I didn't screw it up too badly. And let's go back outside, and I am looking at some new equipment, but it'll be a little while before I pull the trigger. I want to make sure my guru likes what we're doing. But this has been a good ride. I think I saw where I have over 400 YouTubes, but there was all kinds of stuff. I have an RC program, radio control program, so I'd record those. I told a couple oh, here's our bus. We better get ready to go. No, I don't know why they have a bus, but I think it's funny. It's really great. I never saw a bus on the airport like that. That's Microsoft having fun with us. All right, thanks for riding along. I sure had fun. Thinking of the old days. I flew a twin Comanche up here. I've flown several airplanes up here, and but the twin Comanche was probably the hottest machine I flew into this airport. So thanks for riding along. Take care. Bye bye.